But I want to emphasize that the CSTO has nothing to do with
Sta non se io.
it. I've said this many times already. Everything that happened does not concern the CSTO because there was no external aggression against Armenia itself. The CSTO member countries external aggression.
Onschuldige,
The events
onschuldige man.
related to Nagorno-Karabakh have their own specifics.
Hey, observatietarget.
After
Klaar,
all,
klaar.
Armenia did not
Hey.
recognize Nagorno-Karabakh as an independent state.
Klaar.
Certainly did not include Nagorno-Karabakh within its state boundaries.
Schijt, onlakbaar. Even wachten.
This means that everything that happened in Nagorno-Karabakh does not have a direct legal connection to Armenia. Therefore, to claim that the CSTO should have fought on the territory of this enclave is somewhat strange, isn't it? Right? Of course, this is a very sensitive issue. From the outside, it's always easy to give some evaluations. Inside, it's always more complicated. I'll say it again. In my view, any member country of the organization should independently determine what corresponds to its national interests. And we will respect that. The first point. And secondly, Armenia has not announced its withdrawal. At least not. They have stated that they are taking a pause, but at the same time, they support all the documents adopted during today's meeting and the current session of negotiations, and have drawn our attention to that. If that's the case, there is a possibility that Armenia will return to full-fledged participation.
Het is weer zover.
Deze, de andere.
Shake it off Taylor Swift.
Oh, hey, Hoera. Lekker daar, hoor. Lekker op scherm. Nee.
It's already the second response after the Orlik incident. After that, ATAC employees twice more in the course of the damage was minimal, yet the very fact of their use of force. We cannot ignore this, especially considering that there was damage. I didn't just emphasize it. I said that we did this last night.
Oh! Hey, klaar.
What measures is Russia prepared to take in response?
And, in your opinion, are there any risks? Is the use of Western missiles to strike Russian territory still continuing today? Well, you could ask the Westerners who are doing this whether they intend to continue or not. Are there risks with strikes on Russian territory? I've said this many times already. Of course there are. Because this means direct involvement of Western countries. Direct involvement in an armed conflict. Well, how could it be otherwise? If their specialists are setting the flight mission, passing the intelligence information to themselves, and coordinating the strikes on targets within the Russian Federation, of course, there are risks. And I said that today they received a response. Over the course of 2 days, our armed forces delivered a retaliatory strike. Today it was quite comprehensive. 90 missiles were used in the strike, along with 100 unmanned strike vehicles. 17 targets on Ukrainian territory were hit, including military industrial, and logistical facilities that support the armed forces and defense industries.
Oh, very good.
And once again, I want to emphasize, I want to say once again now, of course we will respond to such acts of aggression against the Russian Federation. How and when with which weapon? That will depend on the target selected by the General Staff of the Ministry of Defense, because each target should be hit with its own appropriate tool, a particular weapon. For example, using a hypersonic missile on a relatively insignificant target, which seems small in scale, would be meaningless because it's like using a cannon to shoot sparrows. But for significant targets, we will apply the means available to us, including, as I mentioned, we do not rule out the use of the Orishnik industrial targets for decision-making centers, including in Kyiv. This is in light of the fact that the Kyiv authorities continue to strike our vital objects, including St. Petersburg and Moscow.
You've already said a lot about the Oreshnik, but Western media reports that there was no explosive in the warhead of the Oreshnik. If this is true, what does that mean? Can you share any new details about the Oreshnik with us? And how many similar secret developments of this kind do we have, as you said, on the menu which the client will be pleased with? Thank you.
You see, when I said that we are conducting test launches, it means that this work is also aimed at improving this weapon. And that's the case. As for the striking capabilities, I've already mentioned this too. And if several such systems are used in one strike simultaneously, using 2, 3, or 4 complexes, it would be comparable in power to the use of nuclear weapons. But it is not nuclear, because it is A, highly accurate, B, not equipped with a nuclear warhead, it does not contaminate the environment, but the power will be comparable. Regarding whether there was explosive material. I'll repeat once again. It's being tested precisely to understand what needs to be done additionally. And there's no big secret here. Specialists will immediately understand what I mean. When I talk about improvement, it primarily means balancing between range and warhead.